Everyone, welcome to another episode of this video series. My name is Brighton Nick, and always, as always, it's good to have you here. If I tell you that the world is getting better, you might think that I am naive, but if someone comes to you and says that we are on the verge of total systemic collapse, you you would immediately give the person your attention, wanting to find out, does this person know something that I don't know? There's this dark prestige usually attached to expecting the worst. Um, I know you're no stranger to doomsday prophets and predictions where you hear someone maybe in a party or at an event or in transit or in a commute telling you that the entire economy is going to collapse and everything, every system would vanish or shut down in a few days or in a few months. And most of the times, they usually have sources to back up whatever predictions they're making. Uh, we usually give them attention because pessimism doesn't only just sound like a warning. Sometimes it feels like intellectual advice. It's for today we will be deconstructing doomsday prediction, the seduction of pessimism, why pessimism actually, in some cases, is just a mask for fear, and how you can reclaim your agency in a culture that is addicted to the apocalypse or always wanting to find the worst case scenario. Um, why does the end of the world usually sell much better than improvement? If uh, there's this concept called negativity bias, um, we are prone to always want to see or optimize for avoiding negative situations. So we are more prone to avoid negative situations. That is why we build a certain kind of affinity for noticing and paying close attention to anything that threatens our comfort. So there is that innate desire in us as humans to avoid negative, uncomfortable situations. So whenever we hear doomsday prophecies, we usually pay attention. We want to find out, okay, is this true? What can I do to avoid this? Yeah, so this in itself is not inherently bad. There's nothing bad about wanting to optimize your situation. Yeah, and there is the loss aversion that is common to all of us. The pain of losing is it feels deeper, it hurts more than the joy of winning in some cases because usually it is fleeting or it's passing. Like maybe you made a profit of $100 on a particular business deal. uh, the pain of losing that same amount will even hurt more. So psychologically, we've built this shield to always want to prioritize pessimistic news or pessimistic information. Yeah. Um, how can we? What's a better approach? There is status signaling that comes with doomsday prophecies. Yeah, where it feels like it is only sophisticated people that have their eyes open to see and understand that the world is ending, and everything is collapsing. Um, Pessimistic is the perfect excuse if you want to not do anything. So if you are always looking for excuse, you would find it in the seduction of pessimism. That is why we typically are prone to fall victim or to stay stuck with pessimistic news and information. Yeah. If you look back in history, a number of times, the events that actually happen, that are actually catastrophic, most of it were never predicted by any of the doomsday prophets or predictions that came through. COVID-19, the Great Depression in America, well, COVID-19 across the world. Uh, Very few people accurately predicted this. This is off the top of my head, but I'll fact check. Okay, so here's a better approach. Yeah, headlines um, can be misleading at times. Yeah, trends are slow and often um, the things that are trendy usually as social media marketers and promoters have always opined, negative news always gets more feedback and attention. Yeah. So if you look back in time, you would notice that most of the headlines that use the shock and awe effect have mostly not been true. Okay, so you might want to filter for when you see a headline that is very, very pessimistic and looking for that clickbaity title. Yeah, maybe take it with a big grain of salt. Yeah, so we productively caution it. Caution says that I see the risk, so I would build buffers, like we talked about yesterday. Why pessimism would just say everything is ruined, don't even try. One of these will lead to action, the other will lead to paralysis. Yeah, you have agency, you can decide how you um, receive the information you're getting. You can decide what you do with the information you're getting. So don't allow pessimism keep you stuck in analysis paralysis or just paralyze you totally. Okay? When you get news, when you get information, filter it through a lens that seeks to ask this person giving me this information. What does this person stand to gain from my action or inaction? Okay? I've been Bright the Maker. I'm rooting for you. Bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow.